Hello, my reader friends. I just wanted to film a long form video because it's been a little while since I've done that. And this is my last week of summer break. Next week I start school. So this week is just gonna be a bunch of bookish things, trying to get as many books read as possible because I have, so far, my goal is to read 100 books this year, which is a lot, but I really think I can do it. But the problem is, I've only read 54 so far, and it's literally August. I'm very behind, so my goal is to just read a bunch of books, listen to audiobooks, because I count audiobooks as reading, as long as I'm really paying attention. So right now, I have put a bunch of stuff in my reading chair, and I need to get that out. While I'm doing that, I'm listening to the audiobook of Divergent because me and my mom want to watch that movie, but I wanted to read the book before I watched the movie. I do like the premise of the book, and I am excited to get more into it while I clean. So we're gonna do that right now, and yeah.
Period. It's impossible to have real friendship when no one feels like they can accept help or even talk about themselves. That won't happen here. I already know more about Christina than I ever knew about Susan, and it's only been 2 days. The tank? I find Christina's name on the board. Written next to it is Molly. Yeah, Peter's slightly more feminine-looking minion, she says, nodding to
It's been a while since I last filmed. It's been a few hours. I ate lunch. We went and got a car wash for our car. I actually went to the thrift store and picked up some books and some movies. And now you know the reason I'm broke. I've been listening to the audiobook. It's actually a lot more interesting than I thought it was gonna be. I'm like 29% into it so far, and it's actually pretty good. I just need to listen to it more, and then I'm currently on my Kindle. I am reading Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. It's pretty good. She wrote We Were Liars, but it is nothing like We Were Liars. I actually got it in the mail today, so I have a physical copy to hold when I do like my reviews and stuff, and because I just wanted the physical copy. So I just wanted to update you guys. So I have that on my Kindle, and I'm listening to Divergent. Hopefully I can finish both of those books super soon. I'm not sure how much more I'm going to update you guys today, since it's just kind of getting through the audiobook, but yeah. Hello guys, it has been a little while since I have last updated you. I actually finished Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart yesterday, and I tried to give my review, but there were some distractions, if you must say that. So I'm gonna give my review now. So I finished Genuine Fraud, and this is the same author who wrote We Were Liars and Family of Liars. Family of Liars is a 6-star book for me, so I expected any of her writing to be amazing, and I was right. I love her writing so much. I need to read more of her books. I feel like I would enjoy all of them. I did end up rating this 4 stars because the ending just kind of disappointed me a little bit. I feel like there were other ways she could have gone with the ending, like a plot twist or something, but there really wasn't a huge plot twist at the end, and I guess I was just expecting something climactic, and I was a little bit disappointed. But I will say I really enjoyed the storytelling of this book, because it took me a little bit to realize, but this book is actually told backwards. The very beginning of the book, the first chapter, is present day, so it's what's happening right now, and then every chapter more into the book, it goes farther back into time, which I found was a really creative way to tell the story, especially because normally as a reader, you know things before the main character does, before all these people do, but you don't in this particular book. The main character knows everything that has already happened, and you are figuring it out through her past, which I found was really interesting. So I do want to read more of her books. I didn't rate this 5 stars. I thought it might be a 5-star when I was getting into it. I was like, this is really good, but the ending kind of disappointed me a little bit, but still would recommend this book. Read a quote. That's not okay. I'm gonna read a quote from Genuine Fraud. It's a super long paragraph, and I just wanted to read it because it's not a spoiler or anything, and this is kind of like a sneak peek into Eve Lockhart's writing. It says, "How amazing to be able to play an instrument," Jewel thought. "Whatever happened to you, whatever else went on in your life, you could look down at your hands and think, I played the piano. You'd always know that about yourself." It was like being able to fight, she realized, and being able to change accents. They were powers that lived in your body. They would never leave you, no matter how you looked, no matter who loved or didn't love you. I love her writing so much. I want to read more of her books. Anyways, I also, last night, surprisingly, finished Divergent as well. This book was actually a lot better than I thought it would be. I feel like because it's dystopian, this book and Hunger Games were always compared, at least in my experience, and this one was always not as good necessarily from what I've heard as Hunger Games. And I do like Hunger Games, but I feel like this is just completely different. It's a completely different story. I actually enjoyed this so much more than I thought I would. I love the characters. I love the storyline. There were definitely things I were not expecting at the end. You should have seen my reaction to them. I feel like this book will be my favorite out of the series though. But I feel like the other books will be more about the war, and this one was a lot about the different factions, because there are 5 factions and you were born in a faction, and when you turn 16 you get to take this test where you do different things in like a simulation, and whatever you do in the simulation determines what faction you should be in, and then you go into the like little ceremony and you get to choose what faction you want to spend the rest of your life in. With your family, you can stay in the same faction or you can move apart, and there are certain people called Divergents. They fit into all of the 5 different factions, and the people who are in charge don't like that because they want to be able to control them, and they want to be able to have control over all of these things. But yeah, so this book I also rated 4 stars. So both of these, where did I put it? So both of these books that I have read, I rated 4 stars. I am not sure what book I'm going to read next now that I finished both of these. I didn't expect to finish both of these in the same day, but I now have nothing on my currently reading, which is a little interesting. But I am proud of myself. I've already finished 2 books, and it is only Wednesday in the week, which is super cool. But I don't know what I'm going to read next, so I need to figure that out. So as you can see in this clip, I started The Life Impossible because it was actually free on the Libby app, and I have the physical copy on my TBR, so I decided it would be a good idea to start reading that, as you can see in these clips. So as you've probably seen, I have decided which book to start, and I started The Life Impossible by Matt Haig, I think is how you say it. It's a literary fiction. I'm not really sure how it's going to play out, but this man writes a letter to his old math teacher, I think, and is like, I'm just struggling, you know? And she responds to him and starts telling this story about her past, and I found it really interesting. So far, I think I'm like 17 pages in, which isn't a lot, but it is pretty interesting. I've already found so many quotes that I like, so that is a good sign that I'm going to enjoy this book. But was it yesterday or was it the day before that? I'm not sure. We went to Goodwill and I was looking through the books, obviously, and I found a basically brand new copy of The Book Thief. I've already read this book, but it is in brand new condition and I hadn't bought it yet. I read it on the Libby app and I hadn't purchased the physical copy, but now I have it and it's super nice, and I just wanted to show you guys before I put it on my shelf. So that was super cool. You should have seen my reaction when I picked it up. Also, this has nothing to do with reading or anything, but today Conan Gray released his album Wishbone, and I've been listening to it and it is so good. And one thing I love about it is normally artists take a few weeks to release a clean version of their album, but he released it the same day. I'm like, thank you so much, but they're so good so far. I haven't finished the album, but I do want to finish it. So I'm excited to do that. I'm also excited to read this book more. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about it right now because I haven't got that far into it, but I will update you guys soon and let you know what I think when I'm more into it. Hello guys, I was just chilling on my bed. I have a YouTube video on. I am reading not the Midnight Library. I always get Midnight Library and The Life Impossible confused because it's by the same author. And I was like, hopefully I can finish it soon so I can give my review. And then I realized today's Friday. I totally thought today was Thursday, but no, today's Friday, and I had planned to upload this video tomorrow. That's crazy. So, I guess we won't be finishing this book in this video, and I'm just gonna have to give you my thoughts on it as of right now, because this video is supposed to be uploaded tomorrow and I haven't even taken the thumbnail or edited. I edited most of it, but I still have to edit obviously what I'm filming right now. Yeah. But basically, before I ended this video, I wanted to say that I watched the Divergent movie and I've been thinking more about the book, and when I think about the book after I've read it a lot, it is a good sign that the book was super good. And I did originally rate it 4 stars, but I did earlier today change the rating on Goodreads and Fable to 5 stars just because it was actually really good, and I've been thinking about it so much, being like, I love this part, I love this part, I love the romance. And so I think I just changed it to 5 stars, and I think it is a 5-star book. So that is interesting and exciting. But I did want to do my little review on the Midnight Library as much as I have read it so far before I end this video. We have the book. I am 62 pages into it, and basically it's this older woman telling her story through letters, essentially, to one of her old math students who had sent her letter about his life, and she in return sent this big long story to him. That's as much as I gathered so far. There are so many quotes that are so good. So in this, she had this friend a long time ago, and this friend, they did a few things together, but then this friend moved and they didn't reconnect for forever. And she gets this note saying that the friend had passed away, and she had gave this lady, her name is Grace, her friend had given Grace her house, essentially, in some part of the world that is not America. I'll put that somewhere because I don't feel like looking it up right now. But she goes to the house and she is trying to figure out how her friend's life ended, what prompted her to give the house away to her instead of anyone in her family, because there are still living members in her family, and it's just very interesting. There is a lot left of the book, so I am interested to see what happens, and I am going to read some quotes real quick before we move on. This quote says, "I always think that the quickest way to understand someone is to look at what's on their bookshelves, especially if they are honest bookshelves, not the fancy or mental kind. Of course, weeds don't really exist. They are only a matter of perception. If someone doesn't like a dandelion growing on their lawn, they will call it a weed out of spite, because we human beings have to draw a line between everything. Us, them, mathematics, poetry, weed, flower." But yeah, that is all for today's video. I'm sorry I didn't get to finish reading the book. I lost track of time this week. I'm hoping to post a long form video once a week, so we'll see how that goes. But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.